And I'm finally back, not only normal, but also on video. And this time I don't have to worry about my power going out. So, how you doing, Rich?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Not too bad. Still trying to rearrange my house, try to get things in order, and try to get everything. We're doing a lot of moving around inside the house. House is a little small, so kind of packing things in. So once I get all my sports stuff up and everything in the back behind me, you'll be able to you'll. It's an embarrassment behind me, so that's why I got a virtual screen up right now. It is utterly. I won't even display it.
Well, I'm the next one to move, so.
Yeah. Yeah. So, well, the Tigers game was pretty good today.
Yeah, man. It's I was talking to my buddy, because he went to the game yesterday, and it's they're 20 games over 500, so it's hard to complain too much or whatever.
Yeah.
But I have to agree with him. Is they're so up and down, right? They'll get 0 runs or 1 run, then they'll get 10 or 12, and then it's like, man, if we could just get a steady 4
Yeah.
every game.
But you know what, though? I think they're in a little bit of a lull right now. So they've been playing like 500 baseball, which is fine because they're 20 games over. So if they lose a couple of games, win a couple of games, you're staying at the same pace. You're staying about 9.5, 10 games out of you're keeping that cushion in the American League Central. So it's good that you got that.
The one thing I did tell him is the one thing about this team, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, they usually don't put 2 stinkers in a row together.
And that's a good thing because at least if you go to a game, like had your buddy like, oh, I can't go to the first game, it's a stinker, then you're like, I know the next game's probably going to be really good. Or let's say that first game would have been good, then you're like, I'm not going to the second game because I'm not going to be 100% sure it's good,
Yeah. And then tomorrow, we got Scooble on the mound trying to go for that series win.
I think doesn't that give him 10 wins on the season if he wins this one?
That would, yes.
Yeah. That's awesome. Oh, and I noticed the last time remember when I think he got his 50th win of his career?
Uh-huh.
That was the same guy that we got 50 wins on the season.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah. Because I remember Bandit posted, he goes 50 career wins, and I go, oh, wait a minute. That was our 50th win, too. I was like, that's crazy.
You know what's even crazier? Between him and Mize, they got 17 wins.
I know.
Wait,
no, 18 wins.
No, Mize won today, so he's 8-2.
Oh, I thought he was already 8-2. I'm sorry.
No. I mean 8-2, 9-2, whatever. Tomato.
You know what's funny though? I hope the manager puts him on the All-Star game. He's playing well. I mean, because his name isn't carry any weight, he's just not, nobody even knows he's alive.
I was happy too because when he come off the injured list, he had a couple so. Now he's just getting back. Like he's not like Chris Castellani was talking about it today after the game. There's been a lot of talk about Torque and Baez. The comeback seasons. Not too many people are talking about Mize, man, because he's not really doing anything spectacular. He's just steady Eddie. He's getting your.
Yep.
There's been some times when we really needed him to eat up some innings for us, and he did that. Not like the Twins pitcher today who had to eat up innings, and he was just getting murdered. But, really quality starts, Chris, and I'm happy for the guy.
Yep. And he could have very easily came back and not done anything, like reverted back to last year or something like that. He didn't. That's good. I like to see that. Nice bounce back.
Yeah, he's got that he got that splitter back. That's what got him that number 1 overall pick. That splitter.
Yeah.
And to put that with that fastball, and they go hand in hand, right? So if your fastball is good, you're throwing it for strikes. You got that, 93 to 95, and then you hit that split because it looks like it's coming at the same angle and then drops. That's what you're getting.
It makes with those two pitches, it makes your fastball faster, and it makes that sinker that much more devastating.
Yeah, because he only threw 3 pitches today. He threw the fastball, splitter, slider.
Yeah.
But if you're throwing them off for strikes, I'm very happy. Let's talk about this, Chris. At the beginning of the year, if I would have told you on June 28th, Casey Mize would be your number 2 starter, your reaction?
Rich, you need to stay off the weeds. No, I'm just.
You're right. I don't disagree. That's what I would expect you to say. But here we are.
Yep. And to say and go, Jack Flaherty is probably your worst pitcher out of the bunch right now.
It'd be him or Sawyer Gibson. But I'm giving Sawyer Gibson the benefit of the doubt because he was off so long for the injury and still trying to get acclimated to big league pitching. And I don't think he pitched terribly bad yesterday, Chris.
No, he didn't.
But so yeah, saying all that, Flaherty probably is our worst starter right now.
Yeah. And when Reese Olson comes back, if he comes back and he plays well, Flaherty will be just by process of elimination.
Reese needs to show me something though, because man, he's just getting injury like so much, man. Like in the talent's there. Like that's not a question. Like he has the potential to be a top 2 starter in this league, in my opinion, with his stuff.
Yeah, he does. He needs to figure it out. That's for sure.
I think you could even argue, Chris, Montero is better than Flaherty.
At times, I would say yes. I would say at times, I definitely would say yes. And it's crazy to say that, but it's true.
Yeah.
But we can start on some of the topics here. So, do the Tigers trade for a starter? And I think this was meant to be a starting pitcher. I think this is what it was meant to be.
Yes.
So what do you think? Let's say Reese comes back. You've got your normal complement of relievers. Whatchamacall had a great game. Ennis, he actually pitched really well.
Yeah.
I was very surprised that I think he pitched the shutout, didn't he?
I think, yeah.
I don't think he allowed any runs, not a shutout, but yeah, I think he pitched like 6 innings or something like that and no runs. So I'm not saying he's like our starter. He's still part of the AARP membership. But we're just pulling guys that are coming off of other people's rosters and just like, he'll start today.
I don't think you need to go get a Top Gun, but like a 4th, 5th depth piece, I think would not be a
shout out to Mike and wanting Paul Skeens.
That's like your ace card, right? But realistically, I do think I gotta push Flaherty, push some, a veteran, because I think Alex Cobb sadly should have just stayed on his couch.
Yeah, I mean he to for all intents and purposes, he's making 15 million for sitting on the couch. I mean, he's really.
Yeah.
I mean, he hasn't pitched one pitch other than maybe a minor league pitch. But I
Yeah.
mean,
But every time he's late, I think it's his hip.
I know the feeling.
Well, I mean, look at Javi Baez, right? Like,
yeah,
the hip is a big, for a
It's
hitter
big,
or a pitcher, that's like your big muscle that you use.
the hip in the body is the most underrated area like in terms of joints and stuff of the body. It is so underrated. People take it for granted, but you got to get up, you got to stand on it, you got to go up and down steps, and then when you pitch, it's part of your rotation. You walk, everything that you do every single day, getting up, sitting down, walking around, your hips are being used 99% of the time. Even while you're sleeping, you're rolling around, your hips are moving. Like I'm telling you, man, it's very underrated.
Yeah, so I mean, that would be my suggestion. I don't think you have to break the bank, but a fourth, fifth starter, depth push the other, the bottom guys, may the best man win.
Yep.
Because when you start the playoffs, Chris, you're only going to use really 3 pitchers, and then one pitcher might pitch, a game or two, right? But usually it's pretty much 3 starters that you use.
Yeah, and if you do go, because the only way you're going to use a fourth is if you get to the World Series where they play a 7-gamer, and so then you're going to have to. It's going to be hard to pitch three-game rotation. And it depends on where Scooble lands in each one of these series. So, like, obviously he'd pitch game 1 of the first round of the playoffs or whatever we're at. But if we get an odd one where he has to pitch a game and we win it, and then we move to the next round, he's not pitching, you may need that veteran starter to be able to fill that first game.
Yeah, so that's where I am on this subject.
Okay. Sounds like a winner. Next topic. Is there any concerns on the Tigers? I believe there are.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I know one that you know.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. The closer. We don't have a solidified closer, unless you're calling. Unless we're trying to like do Vest and Mr. Changeup.
I mean, so I agree. This is one of the things that I've been pushing for since last year.
Yeah.
And by all attempts and purposes, they've done a fair job. They've done everything that AJ Hinch has asked from them.
Yeah.
Like Canley gave up 2 today. Oh, well, I mean, his ERA is still below 2. Like, all pitchers are going to get hit. Even your best have bad day,
So my question to you is then, is there any relief pitcher on the roster that you're pitching in a game that'll put you, it's the last game of a series and you got to give them to that person? Are you 100% comfortable with any one pitcher to relieve on our roster in the playoffs, not in the regular season?
So if it had to be, I would, Canley, he a veteran. He's played on some good teams and, but Invest has done well. Like, it's hard to, I want that closer. So where you could use, hell, even if you got like a name that everybody wants, right? That's Rux, it's Media, it's me, Aroldis Chapman, right? A left-hander. even if you had to say, like in the 8th inning, you had 2 or 3 big time lefty bats. You're in a close game. You could throw Chapman there, and then you could use Vest or Canley in the 9th. You know what I'm saying? Because you know how AJ does, right? Like, even, he don't necessarily have the closer mentality. He's a matchup guy, right? So that's why I brought up that scenario. But I would, and then also now if you get another like closer, Chris, that gives you 3 guys, 7th, 8th, 9th. My starter, go get me 5 or 6 innings. You know what I'm saying? And I got A, B, and C lined up, and I'm comfortable with that. With them 3 closing the game, I'm comfortable with that.
Yeah. Okay. And I remember we've discussed this offline before, and we saw this posted before as Matt Manning in the minors trying to become that closer. I mean, maybe by the end of the season, he's got that availability, maybe, or his ability.
I still wouldn't be ready to push him though, just because he's new into that role.
Yeah.
In the playoffs, but so I think that I also think so I have like what I've seen from Smith here lately. He's getting better every outing. Like, I'm seeing him like acclimating to the pros, you know what I'm saying? Because it's hard for these guys, Chris, when they're going through the minors. Well, what works in the minors is not going to work in the major leagues.
No.
It don't matter who you are, right? Scooble had to learn that lesson. And he said it plenty of times. In the minor leagues, I could throw a fastball all game, and they ain't touching me. Get to the major leagues, buddy, you better have some other pitches. You better
outside of a few pitchers, Cahill, Mr. Changeup.
Yeah,
one pitch.
That's a anomaly, though.
One pitch in the minors, you can make a career in the minors on one pitch. In the majors, most of the time you cannot.
Well, that's what makes Mr. Changeup so amazing and like a favorite, is because he does have one pitch. And sure, there's people. Well, Richard or Chris, he throws a fastball. Okay, what, 1 out of every 10? Me and Chris are in a text message group. We have watched him pitch and have counted how many changeups compared to fastballs.
There's sometimes he'll go 15 straight pitches, changeups, and then he'll throw the fastball just to throw you off a little bit.
And it's 95. It's not like he's 90 or 89,
Yeah, exactly.
He's got some gas.
Yeah.
But one other concern I'm starting to have, Chris, and I know he's a fan favorite, Jake Rogers.
Yeah, I think his time. He's a good occasional pitch batter, but I think, to be honest, I think his time is up on the Tigers. He has no trade value, to be honest.
No.
I don't know what his option ability is, because I know if you've been in the majors too long, I'd have to look up the rule of thumbs. Like, I don't know because he's got too much time in. He may, like, if you option him, I don't know if you can option him again, or he might be out of options. And if you do that, then he's got to go to he goes out on the open market. Like, I think he becomes like what's it called?
Designated for assignment.
Yeah, I think there's a limit on how many times you can option somebody to the minors once they have a certain amount of vested. I think it's like 5 years or something like that, or it depends on how many options he's gone down.
My concern, the reason my concern is, you know, the hitting has always been boom or bust, right?
Yep.
Like a 200 to 220 hitter with capable, 15 to 20 home run pop with some, but really good defensively, right?
Yeah.
That's what's my concern is he's having some lapses defensively now. So if you're not hitting and your strength is becoming a weakness.
Yeah.
And I get you're only playing once or twice a week because Dylan Dingler has absolutely stole that job.
Yeah.
He's the best. He's arguably, if not the best defensive catcher in Major League. He's probably top 2.
He's up there. He's up in the top 2 or 3 in defensive. His arm is amazing.
And his hitting, and for somebody who don't walk a lot, like he's got a good control of that strike zone, Chris.
Yeah, he does.
He's
come a long way to being able to frame pitches well. He has done leaps and bounds.
And and I'm sure Jake Rogers has probably taught him a lot. I don't doubt that one bit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But Dingler is, the frame, his blocking, right? Look at what was it? It might have been yesterday where he jumped up to save one. He's really good at blocking. He's really good at framing. His arm is unbelievable. That one where he caught it in the left batter's box on the ground. Man, that dude's got a cannon, Chris.
Yep.
And once he figured out, remember, because at the beginning of the year, looked like he was coming up short just a little bit. But now, man, he's in sync. Man, he's really becoming a favorite of mine. I like his game. Yeah, and I've always liked him. I've always been fond of him, because he was good in college, even though I don't like the college he went to. But and I was watching through the minors, and last year when he came up, I was a little unsure. And then this year, Chris, he's just he's not taking a little leap; he's taking a big leap.
Yeah, he's leaps and bounds. He's done really well.
Do you have any concerns?
Nah, I mean, Jake's a backup catcher now. But what I would like to do, if they thought about it and giving Jake a rest and maybe sending some other guy that's not doing well down, I would like to see. We have a catcher in the minors right now that I'd like to bring up. But
do we still have Nido?
Oh, you mean Nido? Nido?
Yeah, because he did well when he was up when Rogers.
He was. Thanks for reminding me. I totally forgot about him because I
would take him back as my backup.
Yeah, I know. That's Let me see. Top prospect.
That's what I'm saying, Chris. You ain't gotta swing for the fences and get some big. He's just a backup, but.
I mean, a backup's only going to pitch. I mean, in the playoffs, your backup is probably not playing.
Probably not.
He's playing. The guys, he might play one game or 2 games in the entire. If we went all the way to the World Series, he'd probably play maybe 2 games, maybe.
I think Jake played them all last year.
Yeah. I do believe you're right. Let me see who we have. Who was the catcher I was looking at? Oh, that's it. Okay. So Fayron Lorenzo and Jose Brasinio, them 2 are both first baseman catchers. I would like to see one of them come up and play. It gives them flexibility because either one of them can play either position. They're both big dudes, 6'2" and 6'4" respectively. I think Lorenzo, I would like to see him because he's in Double-A. I'd like to see him come up just to see what he has, give him kind of a taste, play like 1 game or 2 games, and then that's it. But just to see what they have in the tank, because they may end up just being a career backup. But who knows? They may not. But I don't have really any concern. Our middle relief occasionally you get a guy that's just off one night, so there's no concern there because that happens. I mean, we've got our concern was what was it? Was it right-handed bats? But now people are hitting. I mean, we got players that are hitting both sides of the both pitchers well. So I'm not really concerned.
Do you know who's been a surprise to me?
Surprise in a good way or a bad way?
Oh, a great way. And he is a left-hander killing lefties. I think he might be the best
Hannafy?
hitter against lefties.
Hannafy?
No, a hitter.
Oh, you're saying a hitter. Because you said pitch, like been hitting pitchers. Okay. A hitter. What's his name? Jemani Jones.
No, he's a lefty.
Okay, lefty.
I brought this up because you said people were saying about righties, and then we got, that's not a concern because we're hitting, everyone's hitting everybody. And I said, this guy has been a surprise overall, and I think he might have he's got a really good batting average against lefties. I know that. And I think he's in top of the league. You wanted him off the team last year.
McKinstry?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That guy's been balling, Chris.
But, I mean, that's the thing. It's hard when you come back. I mean, and that's the thing. Those are make or break things. Sometimes you only get a couple of chances to prove whether or not you're good. Had the Tigers thought the same way that me and even Mike were thinking, like, hey, this guy isn't doing well. He needs to be off the team. We had never seen this side of him. That's what I'm saying. Like, sometimes you don't see everybody's usefulness, or sometimes they don't know. Like, he could go back next year and be the same player as he was last year. But you don't know. You don't know that. So glad
that was one of I remember the conversation we had last year with the three of us, and it was fair. My argument was always he can play damn near every position on the field, and he's really good at it. As a matter of fact, he's been in a finalist in his career for the utility Gold Glove.
Oh, I didn't even know they had a utility Gold Glove.
Yes.
I thought it was interesting. Yeah.
Look it up.
I will.
And it was actually 2 years ago, so it was not last year, the year before, while he was on the Tigers.
The utility.
He's got great speed, believe it or not. He had clutch moments last year. So that was always, for what I just mentioned, was always my argument is why it was hard to just get rid of him, And then this year, we've talked about it before, Chris. When you get your chance, all them injuries we had, in the outfield, the third base.
Yeah.
Oh, guess what? He could play both of them. So he is playing damn near every day because he could play. So he might not be penciled in one position every single day.
Mm-hmm.
He could be at third. He could be at short. He could be at second. Be, either corner, outfield. He could play wherever you want him to play. And he's hitting lefties. What up, Jay? He's hitting lefties really well. He had a home run today, 3 hits. He's hitting like 287, Chris.
That's awesome. Now I know why. Now I know why I don't know about the utility Gold Glove. It just started in 2022. That's why. That explains it. I was like, I know that has got to be something new. So
it is.
It gives those guys that aren't as good, like they can play. They could literally live on a roster by playing multiple positions, but never be great at any one, and that's good. That gives them
a
something
jack of all trades and a master of none.
That absolutely.
But that's your niche, right? Like you can play no matter where the manager puts you. He knows he can depend on you to play really well. I mean, he's hit all over this lineup, right? He's hit first, he's hit second, he's hit third, sixth, seventh, eighth. I mean, and he never. That's the beauty of this team, though, too, right? Is these guys, they don't cry, they don't complain, They just do what they got to. They are a true team.
Yep.
And at the end of the day, it's a team sport.
It's true. It is a team sport. All right. So next topic: should the Tigers be on more TV games? Basically, be on TV, like national TV more. So, I do believe they should. It would be nice. I don't know if the major leagues can do the same thing like the NFL can do, where they can flex games.
That's how they got this game.
Yeah. Well, I don't know because I watch everything streaming, so I never know.
That's how tomorrow's game that's on ESPN.
Okay.
They were flexed.
Okay, cool. That's good. Now, should they be up more on TV? Yeah, I do believe so. However, I don't you kind of got to earn your stripes. We had an awesome second half of the season last year, and now we're doing good out the gate now. I would like to see them more on TV, but have they truly earned it yet? Like next year, we could go right back to being a mediocre team. We don't know that. I think we have to earn it.
I agree. But they are they're a fun team to watch.
Yeah.
And they prove everybody wrong, right? Like, remember last year?
Yep.
Oh, the cardiac kids, all of a sudden here they come in the 8th and the 9th. Can that be sustainable? A year fucking later, that is still their thing.
Yep.
Last night, Jason, who just said, "What up, fellas?" He was at the game. It was law. In the 8th inning, though, here they go. I mean, they didn't end up winning, but they made it interesting.
Yeah.
Like this team never gives up. You literally got to put a bullet in their head.
Yeah.
That might be a little extreme, but I'm saying you can never be comfortable with this team.
I'm a paralegal, man. When you say like that guy, I'm just like,
no lead is safe with this team.
You're right. You're right. Like you could have a pitcher's duel between two of the top two all game long. It's just like strikeouts on top of strikeouts, no hits, and then all of a sudden you get to that 8th inning, and all of a sudden get a few more hits there, and you're like, here they come. Here they come now.
What's funny to me, though, is a guy like Jacob Young last night, right? He dominated us.
Yep.
But then throw a Paul Skeens out there, throw a Cole Reagans, and we can hit them guys. We make them pitch. They walk us. It's crazy to me how these like soft tossers, nobody guys look like all-stars against us, and then true all-stars, we make them look like.
I think to be honest with you, and I think it's a mental thing. I think guys get up for certain guys, and they don't really. Not saying that you're not going to go to the plate and try to swing or anything like that, or they take people for granted. Is like I do believe there's a little bit of like Paul Skeens comes, okay, I am swinging at shit. I'm making him freaking work for every Joe Blow on the mound right now. Dude doesn't have a chance. I'm just going to wait for my pitch. I'm not going to extend batting, and you get out real quick, and all of a sudden it's the fourth inning, and you're 0 for 2 already, and you're like, well, damn, I got to start getting serious.
Yeah.
That's the problem, I think. You just get these guys that are, and the guy on the mound is like, I ain't shit, but I'm going to make sure that I freaking strike every. He's on a mission.
Yeah.
And he's going to bring his best stuff. So I think there's a lot to that. But yeah, let's see. Let's move on to our next topic. Can the Tigers keep this pace in the second half of the season? I think they can.
I mean, yeah.
They're going to play. They're going to play 500 or better baseball in the second half of the season.
To be honest with you, if you're still second guessing this team, is this team perfect? Absolutely not. Is this the best team ever assembled? Absolutely not. But to keep doubting this team after what they did last year at the end of the year, what they're doing this year, like, I think they've kind of let us know what they are.
We're gonna have 4-game losing streaks in the second half of the season. We're gonna also probably win 5 or 6 games in a row. It's just that's what we're gonna do. Are we gonna win like 15, 20 games in a row? Probably not. Probably not. Are we gonna lose 15 or 20? No, we're not gonna lose 15 or 20 in a row either. But that's the thing. That's the beauty of baseball, though. You never know what's gonna happen. You never know.
This is just it's a very good team. You could tell they like each other, and they're building culture, right? Like, without getting too much in there, because I know we got other topics that I really want to touch on this player, but I want to say this. Gleyber Torres has really fit in onto this team. You could tell his teammates love him. You don't hear all this BS that, when he was in New York. Man, he's been a real pleasant surprise, because I know I didn't want him, for a lot of different reasons. And now I'm glad to have him.
And it's funny. When I was listening, I don't know if it was yesterday or the previous series. I remember even the announcers were saying this guy really wasn't wanted in Detroit when he first came in. Like now people are like he's played really well. He's batted well. Like it's changed things. And now you almost say to yourself, and you don't want to say this, but I wish we would have signed him for longer than 1 year, but that's a chance you take. That's why they call them prove it deals. So now he might be asking for $25 million a year next year.
Right. And I'm not saying he's a gold glove defender by any means, because he is not.
He is not. But
he's played better than what I thought he would play defensively.
Yep.
I think it's fair to say he's above average. He definitely playing better defensively than he did last year in New York, Chris.
Yeah.
That one he had yesterday when and announcers were showing it, right? When it hit off second base, he only was able to make that play because he predetermined what it was going to do and was in a position to get it.
Yeah.
If he would have been straight up, they said it would have went through.
It's funny because you could see him dip his eyes, seeing that the ball was coming down. He knew it was going to hit the base.
Yeah.
He knew it was going to hit the base or had a chance to. So he was anticipating the bounce off the plate.
Yeah, that's a good heads-up play.
Yeah, it is. Very good heads-up.
So, yeah, I've been really happy with his play, man. Like he's proved me wrong. I'm wrong. My bad. Sorry, Mr. Torres. Thank you for being on the Tigers.
Yeah. Here's the next topic here. We talked about this a little bit, but are we concerned with Jack? I mean,
The way you took a deep breath there.
It's kind of confounding because he did so well last year. You thought he would just at least be the same pitcher as he was last year. And I mean, who knows? Maybe his numbers are still the same as last year. It just doesn't seem like he's the same pitcher as last year.
Hold on. So, hold on. I want to see something. So he has not won a game since June 8th. And like he's just been so up and down. Like he's having a hard time stringing 5 good starts together, man.
Yeah.
Like if you go back to, I'm going to go April 9th, right? So, 5 1/3, 4 2, 6, 5, 5 2/3, 3, 5 2/3, 6 2/3, 6, 6, 6, 4 2/3, 2 1/3, 6. It's just so, Now, what's killing him, especially in his last 4 starts, he has 15 walks and 24 strikeouts. And he's given up 18 runs. And that's 12, 13, 14, 18, and 19 innings. So, that's a little less than, 5 innings a start. Now, the start he had the other day against the 25th, he did pretty decent, right?
Yeah.
Like, it started off rough, but he ended up with a quality start, but he still, walked 4.
Yeah, I'm looking.
Walks are killing him, man.
So is his home runs. He's given up more home runs this year than he had all of last year. In Detroit, not counting Los Angeles. He's not far behind that one too.
He gave up 24 last year, and he's already at 16.
That's what I'm saying. And he walked 35, and he walked 38 all of last year. Like so. And if you look at his career, Chris, he doesn't give up the home run ball. He doesn't. Nope.
He gave up 24 last year, then 17, 4, 12, 6, 18 and 19. It was 25 and 20, and then 4 his rookie. So he's not known to give it up. I don't know. It's just I just hope he gets better, man.
Yeah. The funny thing is you may not find out if there's anything wrong with him until after the season's over. That's when you'll find out, like you did with Javi Baez. Like, oh, he was playing with like a hurt finger or something like that. And then you're like, that explains everything. But if he is,
I think it's what he's always struggled with. When he has struggled, it's his mechanics. Because look at the other night. The first 2 innings, he looked really well. And then all of a sudden, boom, boom, and then he got it back again, and he was able to go 6 for you.
Yeah.
Mechanics have struggled. His consistency has struggled. He's struggled.
It seems like he's good as long as he's throwing well. The second he starts missing the zone or his control gets a little off, it hits him for a couple of innings. And and if he can get through that, then he's good. But if he doesn't, he's done. Like
it's a long night.
Yeah, exactly.
Short night.
Yeah, very short night. He I'm not gonna say it, but I'm gonna say it. He turns into getting Maeda. Sorry.
Well, Maeda went in that rut and he never came back out.
Well, let's hope to dear God that's
Maeda's the only one that I know that you have an 8-run lead, you throw him in, and next thing you know, the closer's got to come out.
Exactly.
The closer thought he had the night off, Chris.
It's 8-0. You put Maeda in, and it's a save situation.
Hey, 10 minutes later, Vest, get up. Let's go. Fuck, I thought I had the night off.
Exactly. I was getting ready to put my jacket on and go back into the locker room.
Hey, you're chilling like this on the couch, like, all right, let's get it. And then you're like, oh, shit.
Time to go. All right, let's talk about the last 2 outings by Scooble.
So, they have not been his best, but I know why. They've had rain delays. And he is I'm sure it's any pitcher, but he really goes through a routine. He's talked about it, how he, it's like, I think his routine starts 3 or 4 hours outside of his start, Chris.
A lot of pitchers have that issue. Rain delays do not help, especially your top pitchers that are really rhythm oriented. That's why sometimes when you get a rain delay at the beginning of a game, sometimes they change the starter.
Yeah. But you know what's the craziest thing? He's 2-0.
He's still winning. I was about to say he's won 4 in a row. He's still won. Yep. Doesn't matter.
And that's where I've talked about before, right? That to me is when you make that next jump as a pitcher, is when you don't have your best stuff, you still give your team the best chance to win.
Yep.
Like, I would still rather have a struggling Scooble than a Jack Flaherty. Sorry, Jack.
Hey.
I just trust Scooble. Scooble going to find it one way or the other. He's going to get out of jams. But yeah, you could tell it's really been messing with him. He probably like, what the fuck? 2 in a row. So. But hey, man, shout out to him though for still pushing through, and making the best, still getting the win. Still get hell, the other day you got 4 runs in 2 innings, and we still came back. But man, hey, it is what it is, man. When you're when you're thrown out of your rhythm,
yeah,
it kind of messes up your whole thing, right? And like a lot of his routine, Chris, he's talked about it. It's built around caffeine.
Yeah.
he's like Dan Campbell. Like he's talked about it, like he starts this caffeine, and that's why he said, I'm so amped up. Well, shit, you get all amped up, and now you're sitting around on the bench waiting for the game to start. It makes sense, right? Because what happens when caffeine starts to wear off? You start to crash.
Yep.
So it makes sense. But I don't have I have no worries about him now. Like,
no, neither do I. I think Scooble will be just fine. Just a rough patch you go against, and then, but the funny thing is like you were saying, like he went through a rough patch and he's still winning, so it doesn't matter. Wait until he gets in rhythm.
But see, no, that's the thing too. Is like, as players, you can build your own expectations.
You can.
So I'm Tarek Skubal. I don't walk nobody. I do this, and then all of a sudden you start like dipping below that, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, what's going on?" But yet, his worst is still better than 90% of baseball.
And you know what's funny? Even after those 2 games, he's on pace for a better season than he had last year.
Yeah.
I just looked at it. I'm looking at his pace. He is on pace for having a better year than he did last year. That's bonkers. All right. So this is a new thing that I suggested to the guys about bringing up, and we'll rotate. You can think of an interesting fact, but an interesting fact of the week. It'll either be a stat or a fact or something to do with baseball that's kind of an anomaly or something that's weird or whatever. But my interesting fact for the week is I was driving to Walmart this morning, and don't ask me why I thought this. I sat back and I go, has there ever been 2 no-hitters on the same day? I was like, because I was thinking no-hitters. I went over the old, like, the perfect game with what was it? I think it was Galarraga had, where the out call that was called safe. We all that, but I started thinking, like, has there been 2 no-hitters on a single day? And there have been twice in the history of baseball. The first one took place back in it was like 1898, and 2 people did them. 2 people that I don't even know. The second one took place, and it was the last one. It was in 1990 when it was Dave Stewart and Fernando Valenzuela. They both pitched no hitters in different games. So that was the interesting fact. I didn't think it ever happened at all, but it's interesting that it has happened. So that's,
if I'm not mistaken, they're both Hall of Famers.
Yeah. Let me check. I do believe they are. But now that you say that, and I got to look up Fernando Valenzuela. He should be.
I know Dave Stewart is.
Yeah, so do I. I got to check though, because now that you say that, I got to look it up, because it wasn't El Toro. Ooh, I don't think he is. Should be. Yes, he is. Baseball Hall of Fame. Yep, he is. Yeah, they were both Hall of Famers. They're both Hall of Famers, I should say. Oh, there. The other one was Ted Brittenstein and Jim Hughes on April 22nd, 1898. Those 2 guys pitched the other one. So the last time 2 no-hitters were pitched on the same day, 1990. So that is a rarity to have that happen. You see them a little bit more frequently lately, but yeah, it's still no-hitters worth watching. I love watching it. But that's it. That's all we have as far as topics go.
What about the All-Star?
He didn't have that on here. I'm surprised.
I brought it up.
I'm sure you did. I'm only went with what he had here. He doesn't have any other overlays. That's what he put.
You want to talk about it? Because we got some finalists.
Yeah, I know we do. We absolutely do. You talk about him. You can talk about him. You brought it up. You talk about it.
Yeah, man. So we got second base. We got Gleyber Torres. He is battling against Holiday. I do know that Gleyber was the fan favorite. And I'm happy for that guy too, man. He's he's batted first, he's batted second. Really good eye, man. I think he still has more walks than strikeouts, don't he, Chris?
Which one was that? I'm sorry. I'm looking.
Gleyber?
He might. He might.
I got it right here.
Because I was gonna say I have his stats right here. I just roll through my thing here.
Yeah, he's got 42 walks and 39 strikeouts.
That's awesome. That's really good.
And hit another home run today.
Yep.
So he's at 9 home runs and 43 RBIs. And I think he's hitting. Hold on, he's hitting 284. Like, it's very reliable, man. I think that's real. I think he's got some of the top numbers for second baseman, if I'm not mistaken.
So they're doing the voting different this year. That's weird. Phase 1 and phase 2. Like, I've never seen that before.
Yeah, I don't recall it either.
Yeah, because when you said they were battling, I was like, no. I heard it. Voting's over with, and then I just noticed as I'm scrolling, it says Tigers fan rock vote in phase 1. It's like phase 1. But I get what you mean, because like right now you got Gleyber versus Jackson Holiday.
Yeah, I think he should get it. I think he deserves it.
Mm-hmm.
He has earned it. He's been really consistent. And then and then we have 2 finalists in the outfield, because one spot automatically goes to Judge, because he got the most votes of everybody.
Yeah, he was the top vote getter. I think that's an automatic bid, right?
Yes, that's an automatic. So then you got 5 guys. I believe it's 5 guys.
4. It shows 4. Yeah.
Fighting for 2 spots. You got Green, Baez, is it Trout?
Yep.
And one more, I forgot.
Our favorite Guardian.
Oh, Quan?
Yeah.
I think Green should automatically get one. So this is what I want to say. I fact checked myself before I gonna say what I'm gonna say.
I know what you're gonna say. I have a feeling I know what you're gonna say. I'm not gonna say it just in case I throw myself off. I have a feeling I know what you're gonna say, but go ahead.
Green is having an MVP season.
Yes, he is. He is having it.
Look at his numbers.
Yep.
Compared, and if you go look, he's in damn near top 10, top 12 in every offensive category. He's 3rd in RBIs. He's 7th, I think, now after today's home run. He's up there in batting average. Everything. All it takes is, and he's on a heater right now. Some other guys start. I know Cal Raleigh's really hot right now. And Aaron Judge has still got some good numbers, but I'm not saying he's the MVP right now, because that's not who I would vote for. But I think he's a top 5 candidate right now.
Yeah. It's going to be hard because Aaron Judge has so much name weight that it's hard to see. That's the problem with Shohei Ohtani and Aaron Judge. They have so much name weight that even if the last month of the season they batted okay, or less than normal, they could probably coast in the MVP win, like because their name just carries so much damn weight. But
is that what you thought I was going to say?
Nope.
Oh,
that's not what I thought.
Would you agree though? Do you think he's having an MVP type season?
Yep. Some of us, even myself, I projected him to be our leading candidate for MVP, and then he had that poor stretch, and I was just
oh my gosh, it was awful.
I was like, well, there went that idea. But now he's rebounded really well, and so now he's back in the conversation. So, which is good. What I thought,
even his defense, man, is really like. And, I brought it up several times on this show, but still it's, that's why you can't always, these scouts, they're not always right. I was watching a video the other day. A reporter was reading Tarek Skubal, or had Tarek Skubal read his scouting report, his draft. You know what I mean? And Skubal laughed. He's like, well, they're not really wrong, because everybody said, where are you going to play Green? That was the report on him. He's not a good outfielder, but shit, he's very good. He just threw out a guy the other day, he's got a really good arm, well, not a really good arm, but a really decent arm. Yeah. He covers a lot of ground, especially with Meadows back. That allows him to even cover more, right? Because Meadows can cover more. So that means Green, you can just stay on the left side. I got center, right center, and left center. Yeah. And, Perez, holy shoot.
Yeah, I was about to say, talk about throwing people out.
Man, 2 in 1 inning. Chris, now that's an interesting, if you could come up with that information, how many times that's happened where an outfielder has thrown out multiple guys in an inning?
Yeah, that would be.
It's not something you see all the time. I know that.
No, you don't. You're right. You don't see that very often.
I know when you go back, baseball has been around for a long time. But I know with these eyes, it's not something I see all the time.
Nope. He almost got another guy. What was it, yesterday? Didn't he almost get another guy? He almost got another guy.
I didn't know his arm was like that.
I think he has a good arm, like from outfield to second base or first base. Home plate, maybe that is not as good, but from outfield to second base, that's probably his asset is throwing people out in the infield, not at home per se.
Hey, our outfield defense is really good.
Not bad at all.
Even Carey's above average. He's got a really good arm.
Yeah.
He's made a couple home run saving catches. Hell, even when Zach McKinstry plays out there, he's got a really good arm, Chris.
Yeah.
So
versatility, man.
A lot of people talk about the Boston outfielders and stuff, and they're really good too. Not taking nothing away, but our outfield defense is nothing to sneeze at. And the last guy I want to talk about, Baez, man. I really do think he deserves it. I know Trout. I don't know. I think he's only under because of name.
Trout's in there for name. That's all he's there for.
Quan has played really well, so that would be. But the reason why,
if Quan gets it over Baez, I'm okay with that. I love Baez. I want him to be there. If Trout gets it over him, I'm mad.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Trout hasn't really played that well this year. He's been hurt a lot too. So if you look at his stats, he's not doing that well. I think Trout's batting 229. He's got 10 home runs. He's not.
And he's been injured most of the year.
And
and he's been injured most of the year.
Yep.
But why I would go with Baez is, you know, he's really rebounded. You know, again, we thought the Tigers were unserious that he was still on his roster. You know, he goes, he gets the hip surgery. He, you know, still, you know, at the beginning of the year, where are you going to play? And again, like McKinstry, right? Injuries. Because coming into the season, Sweeney was your starting shortstop. He told Hinch, I see you, you know, I'll go play center field.
Yep.
He played center field. And not only did he play it, he played it really well.
So well that he's in the All-Star voting.
Yeah. And then, you know, his bat, he's been hitting really well. Even him, you know, he had a little slump. Well, he's come up out that slump.
Yeah.
And then now, you know, Meadows come back, Perez come back. What does he do? He fucking takes Sweeney's spot. Sweeney just got sent down to the minors.
Yep.
Like he made it, you know, he made it to where you have to play me.
Yep.
I'm just, you know, so I think it's real remarkable what he's doing. You know, he plays good defense, and he's played second base, Chris. He's played third base, and he's never cried about it. That, like, I don't know. I just think you have to give it to that guy because all he's and I see a different Baez, right? I see him happy and everything, and you could tell his teammates like him. The manager likes him. Every time he does something good, AJ Hinch comes in the press conference. He's smiling, and you know the teammates. You know when he had a walk-off home run, they're all, you know, him and Gleyber Torres. They seem to get along really well. So, but you know, I'm with you. Trout gets in over him. Yeah, that's some BS. Quan, fair.
Yeah, I can. Quan's a good hitter. He's consistent too. So I'm okay with him. I'm okay.
And he's a good defender as well.
I mean,
but Green should automatically. And then I think the other one is either Baez or Quan.
Yeah.
And I think Gleyber is a shoe-in as well. Starter.
Yeah. I hope whoever doesn't, like, it would be nice to still see him. Like, so let's say Baez doesn't make it at Steve Kwan. Well, I think Baez should be a backup then. Like he's just a coaching decision.
Yeah, I think he deserves it. Who would have thought we'd having this conversation, Chris?
I know, it's crazy but it's good though. It's good to have the conversation. I am glad I'm not saying, well, there goes another $25 million right down the drain.
And I still don't think he's playing $25 million worth.
No. Oh, absolutely not.
But I'm glad he's on my team and he is contributing.
Yep.
You know, It's not like he's just holding a roster spot.
That's for sure.
You know, he's helped this team in every way they need it, you know, defense, position-wise, whatever, you know. And him being able to play 4 positions, that helps AJ for, you know, when he's managing during the game. Yep. So, you know, Baez, I got you at short, but I want to pinch hit for, you know, Meadows. Guess what? I throw you into center field.
Yep.
You know, and is Meadows the better center fielder? Absolutely. But am I having so much of a drop off like Ryan Kreidler where I'm about like pulling my hair out? No.
I'm trying to find his runners and scoring position. Like, remember last year he's batting like 400. I'm trying to find it.
Labor Torres is batting really well with runners in scoring position.
Yeah. I'm trying. I really want to see if his runners in scoring position got better or worse, or it's still the same. Because that's very
I'm glad Carey's come out of his. Carey had a single today versus lefty. I like to see that.
Yeah, it's nice. Like you said before, and this is any sport. Guys are going to go through slumps throughout the year. You just hope that they don't all go through the same slump at the same time. That's all you can hope for. But guys are going to have them. They're going to, and they got to battle their way out of it. Just as long as they don't get in their own head, player. But you just don't want.
He's even slowly coming out of his slump. He's had a good, I think, 4 or 5 game stretch.
Well, I hope so. It'd be nice.
He was 2 for 4 today.
Yeah, I saw that.
The thing I look at with guys, especially Torque, is the at-bats. And even in his slump, he was just hitting it to guys, right? He was still getting good. He was still getting good at-bats. Just not been – like, to me, that's the key, right? Like, when you start, it's not like when, Baez was so fucking bad, he's swinging that shit that's in the dugout,
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Well, what I want to see is if you're in a slump, then I need you to have like an 8 pitch at bat, a 9 or 10 pitch at bat. Make the pitcher work. If you hit a line drive right to an infielder, cool. You've just racked up 10 pitches on that pitcher. That I want that. If you strike out on 3 straight pitches, or freaking you can only make the 4 or 5 pitches and you're done, you gotta.
Hey,
I'm sorry, I have nothing for you. Like, make it long at bat.
Speaking of which, the other day I was playing my buddy Jason on MLB The Show, Chris, and I forgot who the batter was, but he was the Dodgers, right? He brought the closer in. The one hitter, man, I made him throw me 20 pitches, bro.
Wow.
Man.
Just
hey, he was like,
off.
He's like, shit, I got to get another reliever up, man. All his energy went down. I was hitting he ended up getting me out, but, it was fun, even a video game, that's a lot of pitches.
Well, did you see the picture? I think it was yesterday. They had a guy who was the guy that was at the plate? He fouled off 17 pitches.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is. I'm like, that's it. That's 2 innings right there. You just pitched 2 innings in one freaking at bat.
So I consider that a good at bat. Even if you get out, you still get damage. You wasted pitch.
You just help the next 2 batters. That's phenomenal. Anything over 10 is awesome against a pitcher.
I mean, I think if you start seeing 7, 8 pitches as a hitter, I think that's good.
Yeah, I mean, it is, but
because think about it, if you have 3 guys and they each see 8 pitches, that's 24 pitches. That's a lot for an inning.
It is.
Because as a pitcher, you want to stay in the 10 to 15, but really you want to stay in that 10 to 12.
Yeah.
Ideally. So you start hitting that 20 range, especially like a reliever, right? Like usually that's all they get is 15 to 20 pitches.
Yep.
So you got one, and with that new rule where you got to face 3 guys, you done burned them out.
Yep.
And you could see it, Chris, the effects on a pitcher too. When they start throwing all them pitch, that's why, you got to make them work. You don't want these 4 or 5 pitch innings. I mean,
that's true.
that's not going to work out for you most of the time.
We can't be like Mr. Changeup where we just throw one pitch and the inning's over.
That's I still can't get over him, man.
He will go down in Tiger's lore as like probably my favorite pitcher. Even if he only pitches just this year, I swear to God, I will never forget him. Dude.
Our two big free agent signings who we all rolled our eyes at, Glaber and Canley, have been top contributors to this team.
Doing really well. I mean, what?
We were wrong.
No, Mr. No offense, no defense, really, and Mr. One Pitch Wonder, who's an AAP member, and they're both doing great. You know, like so. I mean,
they've earned their paycheck.
They did damn well. They have, yes. All right. Well, I think it's time to go. Just remind everybody. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Detroit Fan Report. We have exceeded our 500. Our 500 subscribers, like we were trying to. I'm sure we'll move on to probably another goal, like 750 or something like that. So if you guys could just like and subscribe, we will be doing a automated drawing, probably tomorrow on which user that is subscribed will get the jersey, the free jersey. So just make sure you pay attention. Whoever ends up at the top of our random list will end up inboxing you. If you do not reply within a certain time period, we haven't decided how long. If you do not reply within like 4 days, week, like that's what I mean by time period. If you don't reply, we move on to the next name on the list and so on and so forth. So, but you will get to choose the sport of the jersey and obviously the size of the jersey, and then we'll be getting it out to you. It might take a little bit, but you'll get a free jersey, and we'll inbox you. So please respond once we have DM'd you. But we are at the end of the show for today. It was nice to get back in the driver's seat on the show. But hey, Rich, tell them where they can find you, man.
You can find me at X on Riggs928.
He's so choked up over it. It just gets him right here. It just gets him right here every time.
You can find me on X at Riggs928. My bad.
And you can find me on X at Crazy Hockey Fan, or you can find me on Instagram at OnePrideNation_24. Thanks for everybody that have been viewing us, and just keep watching. I mean, the Tigers are rolling. Just keep it rolling, and as we're getting close to the All-Star break and getting closer and closer to that trade deadline. But thank everybody for watching, and we're out.